when you talk about the community process, you talk about a community-based process. Can you share a bit about, about the strength of voice, both in, you as an admissions officer in the community room, but also the strength of the student that comes through, I think, their writing and their supplements. And so can you just share a little bit about that context of what is valuable to the committee and what gets you particularly excited about a student?
Absolutely. Yes. And I do, I hope the soundbite resonates that we are looking to admit people, right? We are not looking to admit a certain kind of robot, nor do we have preconceived notions of what a 17-year-old should or should not be doing. And hopefully on the flip side is you all are able to see that Kane and I are humans. We are here to build relationships, to get to know who you are, and therefore how you fit in with us, with our institutions, and how you're going to force us to grow. Right? I think that's a big piece. We are looking at potential. What are you going to do in the next 4 years? What have you already done the last 4 years? And so when I am looking at applications, first and foremost, it is going to be academics. The vast majority of candidates are academically qualified. They could make the leap to Carleton, generally with some support. I used a lot of academic support when I came to Carleton. And I'm really grateful that it was there for me. But also, I think there are opportunities for students to speak directly to the institution, right? So Carleton, for example, we do have a Carleton supplement. We are asking you to respond to one of 3 questions. One, Carleton has an IDE, Inclusion, Diversity, and Equity statement that speaks to belonging. How will you further the sense of belonging on this campus? 2, we require a comps of every student. What are you going to comps about if you had to pick right now? And right? And 3, Carleton is full of traditions. We give you a little hyperlink to a number of our traditions: the cookie house, first year frisbee toss, the primal scream. There are a lot of examples. But 3, if you were to add to the Carleton traditions, what tradition would you bring to this campus? And so I ask students to be really thoughtful about those questions, because if you're saying, wow, these seem so hard, maybe Carleton isn't speaking to you, right? Or if you're saying ooh, I know what I want to comps about. I want to do the chemistry of ice cream. Ooh, this might be a great calling for you. But it's tough when students say, for example, Carleton being in Northfield, Minnesota, 45 minutes southeast of the Twin Cities, or a prospective student says, for my tradition, I want everyone to take public transit for a day. It's that's so nice, but doesn't actually exist here. Right? Students who are saying, I'm going to add to the sense of belonging because I know that I belong in a big city. Well, that doesn't help me, right? And so what I encourage students is to consider the individual institution when it comes to those supplements, because those are the pieces that are unique to the institutions. The common application, for example, on the whole, is just that. It is common so that all of these institutions can get to know you wholly and fully at once. And while we may understand you, we are also seeking to understand why you want us. And so that's the piece with the supplement that I really would encourage some extra thought there to ensure that you're thinking about the school specifically, Carleton specifically, Carleton traditions, rather than college on the whole.
I think that's beautiful. I think, and it speaks to, I think, what makes your campus so beautifully distinctive, right? And I think that, friends, when you're looking at the supplements, how is that college pushing you? How are they pushing you to think? If you feel challenged, that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? It's a good thing to push your boundaries and know that you're oh, I really like this. This is really fun. That is an indication and an insight to, I think, your future at that institution.